Welcome to the Don't Get Fooled Show with Big Green's College Football Championship game. Let's go, Ace.
Bam. All right, boys and girls. Championship game is here. Cannot wait, Big Reef, for the championship game. Been waiting all season and can't believe we're already here at the championship. The first ever championship game with the 12-team playoff system. And so cannot wait. Before we get into the episode, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and comment below. And get your DGF merch. Get your merch, support the channel, and let's get into championship weekend. It was a good semifinal round. We had Notre Dame playing Penn State. Notre Dame beat Penn State 27-24. Big Ree. What are your thoughts? Obviously, this game went down to the wire, and Notre Dame won on a game-winning field goal. So, what are your thoughts of the game?
Yeah, I mean, the key thing with this, before the game started, the line moved all the way to Penn State -1.5. I was telling you, and you're like, oh, whoa.
Yep.
And then at the end, Penn State had this game the whole way, even at the end, and they literally handed them the game.
Yep.
There's no other way to put it.
I agree. So basically, you're right. So the line started off Notre Dame -1.5.
2.5. That's what we had on the vlog.
2.5, and then it went all the way to Penn State -1.5 right before kickoff.
Yeah.
Game started off. First Penn State, they scored 3-0, which should have been 7-0, but they dropped the Penn State player. He dropped the catch right in the basically going to walk into the end zone.
Yeah.
And so they were up 10-0, should have been 14-0.
Yeah.
Then Notre Dame gets a field goal to end the half, 10-3. Then Notre Dame comes out, gets a touchdown to tie it up, 10-10.
Yeah.
Going into the fourth, it's 10-10. And I know you like the under. It was, what, 45?
Yeah.
Looked like a lock of the century. And then these guys combined for 31 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Just back and forth. But really, for me, the main thing was it was 24-17 Penn State with about 5 minutes left. Then Notre Dame had the ball, I think, around like the 45-yard line of their own 45, and the Penn State defender falls down, and then Notre Dame gets a free catch for like a 30-yard pass play. Then the other Penn State player running across the field falls down also, and this guy walks in for a 54-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
They just gifted them 7 points right there.
Exactly, 100%.
But then it's tied. Then they go back and forth, 3 and outs on punts. Penn State gets the ball back with about 50 seconds left. 47 seconds. They get a 13-yard rushing on the first play and then they get to their own 28. And then this guy Drew Aller just throws a really unnecessary pass. He forced it, threw a bad pass, and they got intercepted. And that was the game, basically. I think they got the ball at the 38-yard line or 40.
Yeah, and then they got a pass to our run, I think.
Yeah, they got 2 plays, got into, field goal range, and that was it, 42-yard field goal.
Yeah.
But you can't pass that. At that point, I mean, you tell me if I'm wrong, but you're either going to, pick up some small plays, try to get into a 45 to 50-yard field goal, or you're going to go into overtime.
Yeah.
You can't turn over the ball there.
Yeah.
Disappointing. But what are your thoughts on, you feel like Notre Dame just are sneaking in again? Like they're just, they got by Georgia without their QB, and it's kind of similar, a kickoff return and another fumble. They gave them basically gifted 14 points. Over here, I think they got gifted 10 points.
I don't know. I mean, stuff happens during games. So that's just the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Things do happen. That's part of the game. But, I mean, I don't know if Penn State was going to win anyways if they got into the final. But, Notre Dame, congrats. They got in. Then we got Ohio State beat Texas 28-14. Another game where, it was 14-14 going into the fourth. Then, Ohio State scores up 21-14. Then it looks like Texas is about to score. First and goal, I think, on the 5.
Okay.
First and goal on the 5 or the 4 yard line. Then they get 2 yards on So now it's second and like goal on the 2. They go backwards. They lose 5 yards. They try to throw a pitch play. Horrible play call by Sarkisian. Horrible. I mean, when you're at second and goal on the 2, and you know you got 3 times, you just gotta bust it in, pound it in, 3 straight times. They lose 5 yards. So now it's 3rd and 7. So now they have to pass the ball. They're not running it on 3rd and 7. And then Quinn Ewers, gets hit, fumbles the ball. The Sawyer runs it back, 90-something yards, and that's the game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Texas blew this game, but what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, that Ohio State played better, and then Texas had a chance, and then that was they blew it.
Yeah, I think Texas blew it. They had their opportunity. And let's make it clear. Ohio State didn't play great either. They played okay.
Yeah, they didn't.
They played enough to win this game, but they didn't play great. And Texas, they had their opportunity. So your call, you said it in our first video that you like Ohio State to win it all, Big Reed.
Yeah, no, I think they're minus 400 money line.
Yeah, I mean, minus 400, I think this, and then we'll get into the game. But yeah, so that was what led into the championship game. Let's get into the championship game. Here we go, boys and girls. Aquí vamos, chicos y chicas. All right, last game of the season, CFP championship game being played on Monday, January 20th, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. We got number 8, Ohio State versus Notre Dame, number 7, and Ohio State is opening up at an 8.5-point favorite on this game, Big Ree.
Yeah.
We got Ohio State 13-2, coming off a 28-14 win versus Texas. This was a 14-14 game going into the 4th. Outscored them 14-0 in the 4th quarter. 81 rush yards on the game for Ohio State, and 289 passing yards. Jeremiah Smith, 1 reception, 3 yards on the game. The stud wide receiver, freshman out of Miami Gardens. And then we got, they did beat Oregon 41-21 in the quarterfinals. And, they won against Tennessee 42-17 in round 1. Their losses on the season, 32-31 to Oregon and 13-10 to Michigan. They did beat Penn State 2013, one of their best wins on the season. Then we got Notre Dame, 14-1, coming off a 27-24 win versus Penn State in the semifinals. Put up 17 fourth-quarter points to get the victory. Riley Leonard, 15 for 23, 223 yards. 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions. And then he did have a rushing touchdown. And then they did beat Georgia in the quarterfinals 23-10. They beat Indiana 27-17 in round 1. They are currently on a 13-game winning streak. All right, Big Ree, Ohio State, 8.5. What are your thoughts? What are your keys to the game? How do you feel about this matchup?
Yeah, I think the keys to the game is Notre Dame's defense. They have a good defense, but can Ohio State's offense outplay them? And I think Ohio State's offense definitely outplays them, but I don't know if they cover. I think almost 80% of the favorites have covered so far in the playoffs. I think only one dog has lost straight up.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Notre Dame, you said, has a good defense.
Yeah.
And that's probably their strength. Ohio State, high-powered offense and good defense, both. Is Ohio State going to be able to put up points here?
Yeah, they'll definitely put up points. And, I think Jeremiah Smith has a big game. He's going to bounce back.
I agree big time. I agree with you 100%. That guy is a huge game. Huge game, 100 yards.
I definitely think Ohio State wins. I'm standing by my pick from the start. But I'm going to take Notre Dame plus 8.5.
Okay, so you like Notre Dame to cover the 8.5.
Because a lot of people are going to be on Ohio State. Because they've covered every game since the playoffs.
Yeah. I mean, they beat, let's see. They went through and they obviously smashed Oregon.
They covered that. I think that game was 1 or 1.5.
Yeah, and then they smashed Tennessee.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Like, how much points do you think Ohio State puts up in this game?
I think like a 27-20 game.
Okay. All right, so you like maybe 27-20 Notre Dame covering. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be, I mean, obviously any championship game everyone's excited about.
Yeah.
Notre Dame is pretty legit team this year. I don't think anybody expected this. They've been playing really well balanced, and then Ohio State is just playing really well. And I think Ohio State has always been a number 3 or 4 or 5, top 5 team, but they've always been behind Georgia and Alabama, right? Consistently.
Yeah.
They're in that tier, but like they're always just a little bit a step. But this year, Alabama fell off, Georgia fell off, and it was just set up. And this is now Michigan fell off in their own, in their own conference, and it was just set up for Ohio State to be that powerhouse. And clearly, everybody saw that Oregon was not as good as advertised.
Yeah.
They got dominated by Ohio State, and I feel like Ohio State is that team this year. I think they're really good. I think they just had a bad game against Texas, and they still won by 14.
Yeah.
I think they had a bad game.
Yeah.
And I think Notre Dame has got really lucky to beat Penn State. I think they got really lucky to beat Georgia. And I think Indiana was just not that good. And they beat them 27 they only beat them by 10.
Yeah.
And I think Notre Dame is in for a rude awakening here. A rude awakening, boys and girls. I feel like Ohio State is going to pound the hell out of Notre Dame. I mean, they're going to just pound these guys to oblivion. Oblivion. I think Ohio State, at a minimum, wins by 13 points here. Minimum. Okay? This is a minimum, basically a 2-touchdown win. Minimum. And I think potentially they win by up to 24 points here.
I mean, I hope you're right. But just to look at it from Notre Dame's standpoint, getting here is a huge accomplishment for them.
100%.
They're playing with house money.
Absolutely.
And Ohio State they're like, everyone's expecting them to win. If they lose, it's more on them than Notre Dame, like, putting pressure on Notre Dame. Like,
100% agree with everything you said. They're playing with house money. Nobody expected them to be here. This is already a huge win for Notre Dame just to be here. Huge win for Marcus Freeman. Like, nobody expected this. So I agree 100%. This is a huge win. And with that being said, they should play a little bit more comfortably, but they still really want to win. And I think Ohio State really wants to win. What is the coach name? Ryan Day, right?
Ryan Day, yeah.
He wants to win, and this is his opportunity to solidify himself as a top coach in the college football. And I think they just pound the hell out of. I think they pound these guys so bad. I think they score a minimum 31 points here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to bet this, but if I had to, I would take Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair call, right? Like, anything can happen. They can more points, but I really like Ohio State here. This is definitely a lock, boys and girls. Don't get fooled. Don't even think twice. Smash Ohio State minus 8.5. Smash them. I like Ohio State to win 34-17, maybe 38-17, 34-13, maybe 38-14. They're going to blow these guys out.
If that happens, Ohio State will have a huge lead, and then Notre Dame will just get garbage points.
Possibly, but I don't even know if I trust Notre Dame's offense at all to even put up more than 13 points. Yeah. That's the thing. I don't trust them. These guys got gifted 10 points last week on a 27, so they probably should have scored 17 against Penn State. And Ohio State has a better defense. They scored 23 against Georgia, and they got gifted 14 out of that 23.
Right.
I don't think they're going to get gifted here again. I think they scored 13 points. I don't see them scoring more than 17, but I think they scored 13 points in this game.
Yeah.
And I am pounding Ohio State, pounding them minus 8.5. I agree with Big Reed that the wide receiver Jeremiah Smith is going to have a huge game. His over right now is set at 79.
Yeah.
I think he easily gets 79 yards. And anytime touchdown, I think it was like 137.
Yeah.
Take an anytime touchdown on him. Take the over 79 on him. Take the Ohio State minus 8.5. Yeah. Pound all three of those. You want to parlay them on the same game? Do that. Boys and girls, this is easy money. Big Ree and Ace are gifting you guys cash to end the season.
I think you have like 4 more picks here to give out.
No, so these are like margin picks.
Yeah, margin. That's a big.
Yeah, these are big. You're going to get plus 400, plus 500 odds. This game is going to be won by Ohio State between 13 and 24 points, okay?
Okay.
So you take the margin 13 to 18 is plus 450. You take that, and you take the margin 19 to 24 is plus like 600 for Ohio State.
Right.
You're going to win. Take both of them. You're going to clean up. I'm telling you, boys and girls, this is the easiest one of the week. There is no way that I see Notre Dame winning this. This is cash money.
Yeah, I agree. Notre Dame's not going to win.
Cash this money out, and then you guys are going to have a nice, really nice bankroll to smash on the conference finals for NFL and Super Bowl, boys and girls. Thank Ace. Send us a thanks through the button after you guys cash in. Venmo us because the boys and girls are going to clean up on this championship game. All right, anything else, Big Ree?
That's it.
I want to thank everybody for a great college football season. It's unbelievable. It is gone. So we will see you guys next year for college football at the end of August 2025. Yeah, good season. Enjoy the championship game. And then our NFL video also will be dropping in a few hours. So check that video out. And we'll see you guys next week for conference championship for NFL.